I'd like to call this meeting to order. This the 10th day of January 2017 in the city of Smith Station. Thank you all so much. I'd like to have a roll call at this time from our city clerk, Mr. Johnston.
Councilmember Stringer.
Here.
Councilmember Jackson.
Here.
Councilmember Moody.
Here.
Councilmember Cooley.
Here.
Councilmember Key.
Yes.
Mayor Copeland.
Here. With that being done, we have a quorum with all 5 city council members present. Thank you guys for your continued service. At this point in time, I'm going to ask for approval and a second for our minutes from the December 27, 2016 regular city council meeting that you guys have emailed and also in your packet. Can I entertain a motion at this time for those to be approved?
Motion to approve minutes.
Second.
Approved by Mr. Cooley, seconded by Mr. Key, and those will go as approved. At this point in time on our agenda, item number 6, ordinances. We had a first reading last time we met of the 2017-122. I would like for Mr. Moody to introduce that at this point in time.
Ordinance 2017-122, an ordinance of the city of Smith Station, Alabama to exempt certain covered items from municipal sales and use tax as authorized by Act 2012-256, generally referred to as the State Severe Weather Preparedness Sales Tax holiday legislation.
Be it ordained by the City Council of Smith Station, Alabama as follows. Section 1. In conformity with the provisions of Act 2012-256 enacted by the Alabama Legislature during the 2012 regular session, providing for state sales tax holiday, the city of Smith Station, Alabama exempts certain items from municipal sales and use tax during the same period, beginning at 12:01 a.m. on Friday, February 24th, 2017, and ending at 12 midnight Sunday, February 27th, 2017. Section 2. Covered items may be found on the following website of the Alabama Department of Revenue, http://www.revenue.alabama.gov/sales-tax/WP sales tax HOL.htm. Section 3. This ordinance shall be subject to all terms, conditions, definitions, time periods, and rules provided by Act 2012-256. Section 4. The city clerk is hereby authorized and directed to certify a copy of this ordinance under the seal of the city of Smith Station, Alabama, and to forward said certified copy to the Alabama Department of Revenue to be recorded and posted on the department website. Section 5. This ordinance shall become effective immediately.
Thank you so much, Mr. Moody and Mr. Johnson. At this point in time, we have to entertain a motion and a second and have a roll call vote on this to adopt it after the first reading, which we had last meeting. At this point in time, I entertain a motion to accept 2017-252. I'm sorry, 2017-122.
Motion to accept.
Okay, I'll second that motion.
Motion to accept by Mr. Moody, second by Mr. Stringer. All in favor? We got to call for roll call vote.
Yes, please. Councilmember Jackson.
Yes.
Councilmember Moody.
Yes.
Councilmember Cooley.
Yes.
Councilmember Key.
Yes.
Councilmember Stringer.
Yes.
Mayor Copeland.
Yes. Item number 7, recommendation from the Mayor and Parks and Recreation Committee. I'm going to ask Mr. Stringer if he would introduce Resolution 27-252.
Mayor Copeland, I'd like to introduce the resolution 2017-252, a resolution for the city of Smith Station, Alabama, to establish the registration and league fees for uses of the Lee County Park at Smith Station.
I'd like to pause for a second and ask Mr. Johnson, do we need to go ahead and suspend the rules to vote at this point in time or wait till we get done with all 3, A, B, and C?
We need to wait before we do the ordinance, Mr. Mayor. We need to
Okay.
wait before 2017-1.
Okay, all right.
Be it resolved and ordered by the City Council of Smith Station, Alabama as follows. Whereas Lee County, Alabama has provided a park for the use of the citizens of Smith Station, and whereas the City of Smith Station has been entrusted with the maintenance, regulation, and general well-being of said park, And whereas the city of Smith Station is seeking a more effective method by which to offset expenses of which the park generates and to ensure that it is used for appropriate activities. Now therefore, the city of Smith Station approves that all current and future sanctioned athletic leagues, including but not limited to baseball, softball, football, soccer, as well as any additional sporting and non-sporting activities that request and be granted playing privileges at or on the sports complex, compensate the city of Smith Station a league fee of $250 per league per season and a $15 registration fee per register for each registration. And per Alabama Code 1975, 1145-3 et sec, upon approval to become effective immediately for all future use of the Lee County Park at Smith Station.
You've heard Resolution 2017-252 that was introduced by Mr. Stringer and read by Mr. Johnston. At this point in time, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve in a second.
Mayor Copeland,
Yes.
quite a bit of difference here. Offer a motion that we vote on Resolution 2017-252 for approval.
Mr. Jackson made the motion. Can I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Cooley. I'd like to open up for any discussion at this point in time before I ask for a roll call vote. With no discussion being heard, Mr. Johnson, will you call for the vote?
Councilmember Cooley,
Yes.
Councilmember Key,
Yes.
Councilmember Stringer,
Yes.
Councilmember Jackson,
Yes.
Councilmember Moody,
Yes.
Mayor Copeland.
Yes. Resolution 2017-252 is approved. Moving along to recommendations from the mayor and the finance committee. Should we suspend them at this point in time?
No, I need Mr.
Till we get down to
Cooley to read the recommendation, please.
Okay.
Recommendation to the City Council, January 10th, 2017. Finance Committee met on January 5th, 2017 to discuss A, entering into a contract with social media specialists for the City of Smith Station for the amount of $200 per month. B, approve insurance coverage for Lee County building inspectors to continue serving our city. Our current policy covers additional need at no additional cost to the city. C, approve and increase supplement pay for the city employees' health insurance to $300 per month. D, ordinance 2017-123 to establish fines and penalties for violations of specific ordinances. The Finance Committee recommends that the City Council approve all the above listed recommendations effective immediately or as per Alabama Code 1975 requires.
With those being read, Mr. Johnson, I'll ask you to continue on at this point in time.
I need Councilman Cooley to introduce the ordinance, please. Oh, no, excuse me. No, we don't. Don't need to do that quite yet. We need a motion to approve items A, B, and C, please.
Make a motion, we approve items A, B, and C on the recommendations from the Finance Committee.
A motion's been made by Mr. Cooley to approve items A, B, and C, and seconded by Mr. Key. At this point in time, do we need to vote on those? Roll call vote?
We do.
Okay. Call for the vote.
Councilmember Key,
Yes.
Councilmember Stringer,
Yes.
Councilmember Jackson,
Yes.
Councilmember Moody,
Yes.
Councilmember Cooley,
Yes.
Mayor Copeland.
Yes. A, B, and C have been approved. Moving on to item D, we need to,
Mayor Copeland, I'd like to request that we suspend the rules so that we can vote on ordinance 2017-123 tonight.
the chairman of the Finance Committee, Mr. Cooley, has made a motion to suspend the rules so that we may vote on ordinance 2017-123. Do I hear a second? Seconded by Mr. Moody. Call for the vote.
Councilmember Stringer,
Yes.
Councilmember Jackson,
Yes.
Councilmember Moody,
Yes.
Councilmember Cooley,
Yes.
Councilmember Key,
Yes.
Mayor Copeland.
Yes. At this point in time, Mr. Cooley, would you introduce ordinance 2017-123?
Ordinance 2017-123, an ordinance for the City of Smith Station, Alabama to establish fines for specific ordinance violations within the city limits of Smith Station, Alabama.
State of Alabama, Lee County, City of Smith Station. Be it ordained by the City Council of Smith Station, Alabama, as follows. Section 1. On December 12, 2003, the City of Smith Station City Council voted to approve and adopt ordinance 2003-021. And on May 2, 2006, the City of Smith Station City Council voted to approve and adopt resolution PC 2006-001. And on August 22, 2006, the City of Smith Station City Council voted to approve and adopt ordinance 2006-030. And on June 26, 2007, the City of Smith Station City Council voted to approve and adopt ordinance 2006-303.1. And on November 27, 2007, the City of Smith Station City Council voted to approve and adopt ordinance 2007-049. And on March 11, 2008, the City of Smith Station City Council voted to approve and adopt ordinance 2008-051. And on March 24, 2009, the City of Smith Station City Council voted to approve and adopt ordinance 2009-062. And on March 23, 2010, the City of Smith Station City Council voted to approve and adopt ordinance 2010-067. And on August 9, 2011, the City of Smith Station City Council voted to approve and adopt ordinance 2011-075. And on August 26, 2014, the City of Smith Station City Council voted to approve and adopt ordinance 2014-103. And on November 11, 2004, the City of Smith Station City Council voted to approve and adopt ordinance 2014-104. And on September 27, 2016, the City of Smith Station City Council voted to approve and adopt ordinance 2016-119. Section 3, pursuant to Code of Alabama 1975, 1145-9, et cetera, all plaintiffs who plead guilty shall pay an applicable fine or fines within 30 or 30 calendar days to the City of Smith Station, Alabama. And the City Council is hereby authorized to bring civil action in any court of competent jurisdiction to enjoin any action of any owner or developer which is in violation of the provisions of Code of Alabama 1975, 1152-1, et cetera, Act 90-195, or any of the regulations set out herein. In such action, the City Council shall be entitled to seek an injunction and may recover penalties as set out in these regulations and the Alabama Code 1975, 1152-1, etc. Section 4. In addition to all provisions of law relating to the ordinances and resolutions in the City of Smith Station, Alabama, there is adopted by the City of Smith Station, Alabama, all the laws of the state of Alabama pertaining to ordinances and resolutions as set forth in the Code of Alabama 1975.
At this point in time, I'd like to entertain a motion that we approve 27-123 and a second.
Mr. Mayor, as Chairman of the Finance Committee, I would like to request we approve ordinance 2017-123.
Motion's been made by Mr. Cooley. Can I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Jackson. At this point in time, I'd ask to call for a roll call vote.
Councilmember Jackson?
Yes.
Councilmember Moody?
Yes.
Councilmember Cooley?
Yes.
Councilmember Key?
Yes.
Councilmember Stringer?
Yes.
Mayor Copeland?
Yes. Ordinance 2017-123 passes. At this point in time, I'd entertain if there's any public comments. None being, any comments or announcements from the City Council?
Mayor Copeland, let me announce one of the things that's coming up this coming Saturday. And I have a tendency to look at the weather every day this week, and it looked like it's going to be about 65 degrees or 70 degrees on Saturday, And Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, right here at City Hall, we will kick off our 15th year of the MLK Martin Luther King Drive pickup. That's when we spread out all over the city of Smith Station and even maybe some even county roads that we might get to. It all depends on the personnel and the people that we have here at the time. And we're gonna pick up trash. And believe it or not, we have plenty of it to do on Saturday morning. From starting at 9 o'clock, we'll leave here. So we ask you to gather here with us, to meet us here at 9 o'clock. And we're gonna disperse from different areas. People will pick up trucks. We ask you to drive your trucks. We're gonna furnish the bags, the gloves, and only thing you have to furnish is basically your muscles to bend down and pick it up. And we're gonna ask you to do that for us. We're gonna have quite a few people. We anticipate people from Smith Station as well as Glenwood, and those are the two schools, and maybe even in some areas in Phoenix City that have requested some interest in it as well. So we ask you to come out, and we're gonna thank you in advance because we know you're gonna show up to do this right here. That is at 9 o'clock.
At 12.
Hot dogs, yeah, hot dogs will be served, maybe hamburgers, I don't know, but I do know hot dogs gonna be served, right? Hot dogs and cold drinks will be served at 12 when we gather back here, and that way you won't go home totally hungry.
Yes. Thank you. We invite everyone to this 15th annual event of the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Cleanup Day that the City of Smith Station is taking part of. I'd like to recognize Phoenix Cable and my good friend Josh Hart. At this point in time, we thank you so much for coming. And at this time, I'd like to entertain a motion that we adjourn.
Well, Copeland, for a motion that this meeting be adjourned.
Motion by Mr. Jackson, second Mr. Stringer. We're adjourned.